Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Grade Ace Tourney, case 1-5. Sorry about ending the last session a bit abruptly, but some real life stuff popped up. But to make up for that, we will be going for quite a bit today. So, Lestrade, take a look at my badge. Take a look at my badge. Where's my armband gone? What's the problem? Something wrong? I suppose. Hey, look for this. Yes, but how? And when? And how again? I got the talent for it, haven't I? Diving? That's bordering on black magic. And it makes what I was about to say about my armband seem a little dull. So, what do you want to tell me about it then? Excuse it. Of course she does. Alright. What's up? Somehow, I didn't really think you were the sort of person who used a pawnbroker, Mr. Strahd. Yeah, well I am, alright. I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. Is that a problem, is it? No, not at all. It's just that, well... Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got another dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase. Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines. You're not going tonight, Mr. Naruhodo. Alright then, I'm just going to come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people? Well, I don't know how to best to answer that, really. Suppose. Sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Mr. Strahd. But not this time, alright? I swear. That thing belongs to me. The disc that Mr. Windybank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. Alright, let's go talk to him. Mr. Windybank, what exactly is this metal disc that Mr. Strahd has brought you? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface. Ah, this is a music disc, you see. For use inside a music box. In a music box. What, you don't even know what a music box is? You're still not into savvy, eh? I know what a music box is. I've just never seen one of these discs before. Small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going. And beautiful music plays. It's so incredible. Tell us, what tune is on this disc? Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music boxes. British made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Ah, I see. And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady profited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny. That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was... well... He? Who? Never you mind. It just ain't right, that's all. That this worth good money, I know it is. Well then, you'll have to try luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you? Ah. She's been in before, of course, this little tattletale. I see. I brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today? Well, if only you were that simple. Sorry? What do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. Ah, a storage ticket. So... Mr. Strahd has actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing. Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. But as she gave me the ticket for it, and we paid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her. But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Winniebank. The little scamper's wearing it, man. It's the overcoat that she redeemed. Oh. Whoa, what's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So, what about the disc then? How does that come into all this? The disc is something else. A new article to pawn, the girl and I can agree at a price. I'm confused. I thought you said that Mr. Straub brought in a storage ticket today. It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I understood it. That's right, yes. And rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean... What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? Ah, I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am. And she immediately tried to pawn it. For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think. Give it up. I'm just trying to pawn something like anyone else would. Mr. Strahd, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me old man! It's me old man's, ain't it? Is it Mr. Strahd? Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Question mark, okay, I don't know who it is. Out of my way, please! Oh. Okay. Out of my way, please! Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. What's your problem, eh? There is no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor. And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you're a strength, you should know wait you in line. Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well, a pickpocket. Eh? Who are you? How do you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean from you? Broker? Yes, sir. I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my! Now that's a lie! What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. And needless to say, any music box discs too. No! You can't have it! You just can't! It's me old man's! Or it was! Now it's mine! Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation. Yes. I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. Mr. Strahd, is what the gentleman is saying... What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously! I swear on my life, I ain't never laid eyes on that dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? That ticket you brought in here just now. No, I swear it. I swear to God. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business, when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets! Yet again? Oh yes. As you can see, I am a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Come along now, Mr. Stroud. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police. Hold on, why'd everyone think it's me? Just look at this dandy cove, and you think I'm the dodgy one? I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you. Well, what evidence? Yeah. Where's the evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it. Oh, I have evidence, naturally. What? Evidence that the article Mr. Stroud redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Of course, we need only consult Mr. Winterberg's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. Yes, brilliant. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. Oh. I never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine. But why not? Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Yes, I see. But then how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it? Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir. Might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question? Of course, it's... Professor. Variety? Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. A watchword. Interesting. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windybank. As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it? Great detectives have no dark secrets, none at all. Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description, and a watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article. That's right, sir. Yes. Just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you require already, but for the avoidance of doubt. The article in question is an overcoat, deposited 2 months ago on 15 February. With a watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir. But how? Really, this is beyond a joke now. There is no further room for doubt. But the Stroud should know this as well, right? If she collected in the first place. Mr. Sholmes, are you? Oh, you're not there anymore. Nothing is anything new to see. Yeah. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the Inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry. Yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-colored soup dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. And what was that theatrical gesticulation about? Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really. My name is Susato Mikotoba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant. I see. My name is Benedict. Yes, Egert Benedict. Egg Benedict? Enchanted. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is suspicious. This man is a breakfast! Now, to the matter at hand. My overcoat. Return it at once. Someone with the style to carry it off. Every move he makes, every breath he takes. I can't stand watching him. So, let there be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Egert Benedict, sir. Charmed, I'm sure. With such a reasonable rate of interest, I may even decide to come back. This is why I hate grown-ups. Just cause I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar. And the contents of the coat pockets, please, broker. But of course, sir, here is the disc. Just this one? Pardon, sir? I was expecting another. That is, a deposit of another. Another disc? Oh, oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Say so, eh? I don't know nothing about it. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to Star. Wait a minute. That disc. It's mine! Ah! What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal! Oh my! Yes, there's blood on the disc! Because of all those sharp little bumps. The man must have scratched his finger on it. I found it first, right? I mean, it belonged to me, old man. So you're not having it. Oi, you take it. Me? If I hang on to it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it. Mr. Strut, why is this disc so important to you? It's evidence, isn't it? That blood is something relevant. The music box is going. This is evidence important. You there, in the black livery. I wanted to look at it though. Look at all the little bumps with this. They're so tiny. Yes, the protrusions are called pins, and they tuck the teeth of the comb to make noise. And just on the edge, there's a small amount of blood. Yes, the blood of the mysterious Mr. Egert Benedict. Now Mr. Stroud tried to grab the disc from him, and the pin scratched his fingers, it seems. Like when you're grating some daikon radish and accidentally catch your finger. Ouch, just thinking about it hurts. It puts me off eating radish. Or McGilda. It looks like our old friend has come back to haunt us. Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck onto the reverse side of the disc, look. And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. Or McGilda. McGilda? It couldn't be. But it is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget, for as long as I live. But why? Why is this name on this? So, this overcoat. Is it McGilda's? Is it evidence of the murder? Maybe it's maybe it was in the victim's coat on K Street. Hand that disc to me at once, please. No, don't! He's lying! Grown-ups are all liars! What do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? I am going to leave. Are you sure how's everything you need to? Guess we start with, Gina. Wow, Mrs. Strut is really looking daggers at the mysterious gentleman. You need to do something to calm down before she loses control and attacks him again. Ah yes, Mr. Breakfast. Herlock, are you still there? Yes. Look at these piercing eyes. He's clearly in no mood to talk. We have to do something quickly before this mysterious gentleman leaves to fetch the police or something. Mr. Windenbank is clearly at a loss here. We have to do something about this before he reaches for that revolver of his and shoots himself in the hecking face. Holmes, solve this conundrum for us, please. Mr. Sholmes, what are you examining with such keen interest in? As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After a young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows, cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the joyful atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Was, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Miss Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely. So desperately lonely. Then, why on earth did you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of the conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, I feel simply awful for you. It would seem that my inferences are correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again. My dear madame, sometimes I wonder, were my genius for deduction to be commoditized? How much could I pawn it for? Let's pretend he's being an idiot, yeah. It seems Mr. Sholmes had another of his flashes of inspiration, but who knows if it will help to resolve the situation between Mr. Strut and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Leave it. We already know who this thing belongs to. And he's a dead man. I don't know. If Mr. Sholmes starts on one of his wild rambling deductions now, it could just fan the flame to his arguments. I think it would be sensible to try something else. Mr. Naruhodo, what are you saying? The great detective has made one of his great deductions. He's sure to cut straight to the heart of the matter. That's what I'm worried about. Oops. Skip the line, sorry. We don't need any more cuts around here. Dear me, you seem decidedly agitated. Clearly, I shall have to take the reins. Yes, please do, Mr. Sholmes. Looks like we're going to hear this deduction, whether I like it or not. Well, Mr. Strut, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Where the blue blazes have you been, eh? Pardon? When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later. Harsh. And who, pray tell, are you? Mr. Igor Benedict. You have, in my eyes, a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon. The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? How? He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg. Ha 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 ha. Shut up. It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction. Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah yes, as I have... That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Herlock Sholmes Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. The Great Deduction. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbroker today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket game, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane which you unwittingly clutched to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What utter rot! I've had this cane for years! The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, missing further. I saw the AG there. I don't know what it stands for, but... Gilded? No, that's not right. Well, we'll find out. The end of any walking cane will be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet, detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of the stick to be utterly bare. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. You recoil, sir. There's something wrong. And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you wear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were about. What walking cane demands to stop handle, you style? But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod. It's the broken handle of a shovel. What? Are you insane? And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. Ah, this is a reference. Chad, this is a Sholmes story reference. I think it's the red-headed leak. I can't remember, but I think it's the red-headed leak. That one was a plan to get this one guy occupied and busy while his shop was left empty, and then the guys who were behind it were digging a hole underneath it because, like, it was connected to a bank. This is a Holmes reference. Ha ha ha. Of course, since this is Grade Ace Attorney, that is not the case, but, you know. Haha, very funny. Oh yeah, I think the guy was a pawnbroker. Either he was a pawnbroker or something related to that. Anyways, now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the plan. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbroker with a broken shovel. What on earth do you propose I could expect to find? Dunce! Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose. Say for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice in the counter which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. This letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, hasn't it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, we would gain access to the waterway that flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. Yeah, it is a Red-Headed League reference. What are you? In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? 360 spin! Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some years ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. I guess the Holmes fans in the entire game is a little better. Yeah, I'm noticing the downs of deductions are basically just where they're throwing in their references for fun. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. The postcard of the Great Exhibition. I'm afraid you've quite lost it. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank on the other side of this road. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime we have been contemplating. Is the theft of that which sits in the vault of the bank. The special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle. Alright, as fine as that is, I am wondering what this has to do with McGilded. These waters run deep. Mr. Sholmes. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. An impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Is it true what you said about that bank over the road and what it has in its vault? Indeed. So few know of its existence. It is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Braxton told me, in the strictest confidence. But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly in fact. Ah. And if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find about it? There can be but one explanation for that. Say it is because the man is a criminal. But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you've reviewed the secret. Oh. Or if he doesn't, meaning Mr. Windybank, he already has plenty of shovels here after all. Oh my life! I assure you I'm not so unscrupulous. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost of care. What a troll, this man. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets will disclose them, and once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo, an excellent idea. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yes, let's listen to that great deduction again and see if we can massage it into shape. Very well then, let us start once more from the beginning. Of Sherlock Holmes, magnificent. Logic and reasoning, spectacular. Hold it! Alright, let's dive into this. Stolen from you. That's a lie. He came in here because he's holding something. So, by Mr. Shom's reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor. Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he? No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is, where? What did Mr. Benedict bring here at this particular point in time? What else are you hiding in your head, huh? A crude drawing! Who is that? Chad, I wonder, who is that? There can be only one conclusion. It's Luke! From Professor Layton! That's right! Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney is canon!
Take that!
Alright, someone told him about Lestrade. Those notes were scrawled by somebody famous, and as such are worth a considerable sum of money. The fact that you handle the paper on which they are written with gloves only proves my theory. So you came here today with the intention of pawning it for as much as the broker would give you. But spectacularly contrived logic led you to this mindless conclusion. Wait, okay, did I have to read it first? Alright. Oh, well, it's supposed to be a logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I contributed to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruto. Kindly perform many peculiar experiments on your own stage. Sorry. Alright, we can't just present the picture. Yeah, I still don't quite understand why the gentleman gives you this picture. Fair enough. I got a bit ahead of myself. I saw Luke from Professor Layton and I got excited. Oh. Look at all the scribbled notes in the back of the flyer. I don't believe it. What is it? Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade. Height, 5'2". Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade. Goodness, there's even a sketch of her, hat and all. Although if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure. And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Money Bank Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption deadline, 15 April, which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? Info about Miss Lestrade. There we go.
Take that!
Ta-da! Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch of the reverse of the flyer pertain to the pickpocket, Miss Lestrade, and to Mr. Winniebank's pawnbrokery here. Ah. You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today, by which I mean here to Winniebank's pawnbrokery, and today, the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane which you unwittingly touched your person. There is a contradiction. It's the initials. What does that mean? What's a ferrule? It's the metal cap commonly found on the end of a cane, Mr. Naruto. Ah, the bit that makes the nice clacking sound, Nathan? Yes, exactly. Mr. Sholmes is right, it appears to be missing on this cane. But it doesn't actually look broken, does it? No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious. In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. It's probably initials, right? It's not his initials, that's for sure. Look here, Mr. Sucker. There are some letters in the handle. Ah yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their names. So, her luck shows to be HS. Agar genetic. Sure. That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously. Oh. AG. Why does it feel as though that's not quite right? It's not your cane, is it? Let's see if there's anything else. A stylish hat, hang on. Gotta talk about this. As stylish as no doubt it is, I don't think this white top hat suits the man, do you? No, not at all. The more I look at it, the more something strikes me as suspicious about it. I think perhaps it's not so much that it strikes me as suspicious, but rather that the hat is just right. I suppose you're probably right. Perhaps that hat isn't what we're looking for. The initials mean way more than you realize later. What does it stand? AG. Attorney General? Oh well. Say hi to the camera. It's not your cane, is it?
Take that!
The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initial. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Eger Benedict? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet in a most possessive manner, you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials AG. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't. You said before that you'd had that cane for years. So don't try to tell us you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. You recoil, sir. There's something wrong. And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of the next conundrum presented itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Alright, what's his real name, I wonder? Is it gonna be a Holmes reference? Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Mr. Stroud redeemed that fine-looking overcoat, and now a mysterious man has appeared introducing himself with a fake name, and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Mr. Stroud from a written description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. Cufflinks? There is a tear. Oh, the seam on the shoulder there is coming apart. Look. So it is. Do you know, a moment ago when Mr. Benedict was surprised by something that was said, I thought I heard it make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl. But now I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open. If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting, and he wouldn't have a hope of fastening them to front. If he were to run around it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart. That I like to see. Sorry. So how can we make Mr. Benedict run around? He's really giving it this thought. Alright, yeah, so this code doesn't belong to him. Are we supposed to present this? Is the gentleman really the owner of the overcoat? Yeah. It's a Although, I don't think this code is Lestrade's either. She's probably lying about that, but she's had... I think someone asked her to fetch it. Fetch it for her. And given that there's evidence from McGilded in there, yeah, I wonder. This is like evidence smuggling, basically. Oh wait, sorry, wrong button. There's like evidence smuggling involved here, and this guy's trying to not let that happen. It looks like.
Take that!
These waters run deep. The split scene, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle. Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a perfect. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the scene is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so boldly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. Ugh! This catalogue of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windybank. Ah! Yeah, see, if she stole it, why would she know the password? And the date and everything. So, like, clearly she got it out legally, you know? But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed. Damn it! I revealed government secrets for no reason. I revealed government secrets just to piss off Mycroft. Is Mycroft in this game? I don't know if Mycroft is in this game. But it would 100% be to piss off Mycroft. Oh, I guess in this case it would be Highcroft? Highcroft Moles. Highcroft Moles. No, that doesn't rhyme. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. Alright. Third dialogue is different now, because you suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to fetch some tawdry article of carnage. Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place? How could I possibly have known the relevant details? I don't know French, I can't pronounce this properly, sorry. Sit back. Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword related to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the council notice in the council. The book, right? The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, no more talk of tunneling into the sewers. Which is a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yes, Professor. Variety. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windybank would never allow you to redeem the article. Or looking at it another way. If you did know that word, Mr. Windybank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. The question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? Are we gonna look at the book? Yep. Look at this, Mr. Something. It appears to be a memo that Mr. Windybank has scribbled to himself. Let's see. What does it say? Oh, Professor. Mr. Windybank must make a note of the watchword his customers give him right before your eyes. In an alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear. I don't know where to look. Who knows what are the secrets I'm concealing? Wow. That is some piss-poor password security. Didn't they tell you never to write down your password on paper?
That!
The method is revealed by the note on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. The writing down credit card details in the book, yeah. Or it's like writing down the password to your computer and sticking it on your monitor. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for their watchword and notes down the response uttered on the note ready at the hand. I mean, it's not taking down part that's a problem, it's the leaving it out in the open that's a problem. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. I would expect nothing less of a diligent ponder. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in this shop for your accusation against Mr. Strahd. Oh, wait. Chat, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that one episode of Hotel Hell with that owner who wrote down everybody's credit card details, right? Is that what you're referring to? I know you well. It is increasingly apparent that you were present in this shop for your accusation against Mr. Strahd. In all likelihood, you followed her inside. and then observed her talking to Mr. Windybank. When the division broker made a note of the watchword, as is his common practice, he observed him writing the word professor on the notelet beside the ledger. And that, sir, was the master planning device to steal the pawn article of the young Mr. Struck. Master plan! Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lyric scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article of this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? For an ill-fitting overcoat that hardly seems to justify that effort, much less a worthless music box is. But naturally, you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. No, it doesn't. Not anymore. The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets, which according to Mr. Windybank isn't even worth a penny, and yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder, perhaps, we already have the evidence we need to explain to Mr. Naruto. Did we? Really? I better have a thorough look through all the evidence we've collected so far. Yes, between these two pieces of evidence, it is very clear what it is.
Take that!
But spectacularly contrived logic that you this minus conclusion. Oh well, okay, no. He doesn't have unique dialogue for it. I'm sad. The attorney's badge. Alright, I had to manage to try and get us into the overcoat of the disc. He doesn't want either for the monetary value though. Still, they must be of value to someone. Okay.
Take that!
You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. It's that, on the back. It reads, for McGilded. Mr. Magnus McGilded, the unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you squeezed yourself into. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Egert Benedict. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded. The shock was so great I froze for a second. Elementary, my dear Watson. Well, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances. Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind. Pray tell, Mrs. Sutter. Well, according to what Mr. Windybank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the code could have been redeemed, was it not? Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today will be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today is 15 April, so 2 months ago today. These waters run deep. Would have been 15 February, sir. That's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Deposited at 10:30 p.m. I see. Ah, this is connected. What? But that suggests... Yes, 15 February. It's precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place. And 10:30 in the evening. is precisely the time in which the terrible events were unfolding. Just if it's not the world, it would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However, I must insist you hand over the music box this now. It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. Ugh. What do I do? Sir, call the police! There are some things a man must protect at all costs. This may well be one of those things. Then again, it may not.
Hold it!
Mr. Windybank? This is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I should have to take my own life. Mr. Windybank, no! Alright, that's enough. Oh, there's fish and chips now. Inspector Gregson! Inspector? That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised on one of our dedicated emergency lines, so we got here as fast as we could. Now, what's all this about, eh? Oh, praise be, you're here at last. I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. It would seem you have the upper hand. Alright, you lot have got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered with some petty argy-bargy. Petty? Mr. Windybank very nearly met his end. Yeah, by his own gun, as far as I can tell. Oh dear. The whole of Britain could meet with its end, if I don't get to the bottom of this case it's supposed to be working on. What? Well, what on earth is the case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Gregson. I might have said a little too much. No matter, it's nothing to do with you lot. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me down to the station. But of course, Inspector. Ah! He's getting away! Get after him, lads! Whistle the beat officer too! Sir! Wow, he spun his way out of there. There's been a spate of thefts at pawn shops around here recently. Okay, just checking he didn't steal it. So we'll fit an emergency buttons underneath the counters for brokers to let us know when there's trouble. Oh, Inspector. I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed. Now then, Mr. Permanently in mourning. Wow. Oh, yes? I've been taking whatever it is from Miss McGilda's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh, yes, of course. No, don't! Don't give it to him! It's mine, that's it! Mine! I'm sorry, miss. But anything that belongs to McGilda has to be taken in as evidence now. As evidence? If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. Yeah. So we handed Mr. McGilda's disc over to Inspector Gregson, and was summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. A spittoon joke. To be continued. The 2 music boxes. No, there was only one. There was only one. The other one's still missing. Lestrade may have stolen it. I'm gonna raise a theory, and don't tell me if I'm right or not, but I'm gonna raise a theory. Something seems off. Gina's obviously... Lestrade obviously has a motive behind redeeming that. And I'm fairly certain she alluded to getting it for someone else. Everything is very off, yeah. She's saying don't give it to anyone. The safest hands is with her. So with Mr. X Benedict, that's understandable. He was very sus. But she's also like, no, do not let the police have it. I'm guessing because something in the police system is corrupt, you know? Maybe someone up there is a demon guns and he's about to do disappearing things to the evidence, you know? And you know, McGilded also bribed a bunch of people, probably. So, something is rotten in the core of the British Empire's police. Gregson, what have you done? Do you know what you did? Oh no! Okay. One more thing I wanted to look up though. The red-headed league. Yeah, the guy. Okay, the name is different. It's Wilson. It's Wilson, of course it is. Okay, so that's why they couldn't use Wilson for the pawnbrokery. Yeah, but yes, it was a pawnbroker, and yeah, the assistant was the one who asked him to respond to the newspaper advertisement for the work, and his name was Vincent Spaulding. Yeah. And the villain's name was John Clay. Yeah, the guy who was trying to tunnel over. It's John Clay. Alright. I was just checking to see if anybody's name was AG in there, just for fun. But it appears not. But who knows, maybe we'll see some of those names pop up again later, as minor characters or something. See? That's right, grown-ups. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take stuff away from you. Oh, really, Mr. Strahd? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? What? Oh my, surely you were given that. Yeah, the D let me keep it, after I looked daggers in it long enough. He went through the pockets and then said, go on then, have it, before telling me to scarf them. Always pays off giving people a look like they hate him. I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble one day. What I really wanted was a nice shiny disc, man. The music box disc, but Mr. Winterbank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm gonna go and have another bash. Give him a long hard stare. I think not, Mr. Strahd. We shan't enter Winterbanks again today. Why not? That's not fair. It can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Winterbank. But this is mine. I had a ticket for this coat and it was in this coat's pocket. There should be something else, you know. That's what that Rotten Cove said, ain't it? Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Well then, that's mine too. Whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck. Mr. Strahd, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day. Yeah, and it's all your fault, Sholmes. No, I'm just realizing. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but that coat looks like Gumshoe's coat a little bit. Or at least it reminds me of Gumshoe's coat. You know, it's an old scruffy coat. And it's cute because Lestrade is Inspector Lestrade in the books, so maybe it's a roundabout little reference, you know, the fact that she's wearing a something of a detective coat, so it's like, haha, look! Inspector Gregson! Ha 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 ha! Something like that. So what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening? Eh? Iris would be delighted with the cooking show, and I might entertain you with a modest violin recital. No, ta. Oh. Why would I come round your place, eh? Have you lost your head or something? Oh dear. She's gone. Having reveled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway. Interesting. Once she had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. Very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a place for our potential guests at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you. Oh, how exciting! What is it? We shall have to wait and see, Mrs. Sato. Until later then. Did he take the other disc? I wonder. He's definitely ahead of everyone else. Ah, Susie and Bruno. Come in, come in. Good afternoon, Iris. Thank you so much for breakfast this morning. Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already. Busy as always. I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening. Already? You're obviously cooking something special, are you? Oh yes, after all, we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Go on. Kiki, you'll never guess. Look at those little eyes of hers shining. Oh dear. It is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Ginny! Isn't that exciting? Oh, what a surprise! Yes, that's wonderful news. Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea. I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional. Oh yes, that does sound like fun. I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you, Mr. Naruhodo? By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to? Early? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back. Hello, Mr. Sholmes! I beg that you won't speak to me. Sorry? I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here. I don't know how to respond to that. I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything. Yes, I see. Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes, really does. Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they? Yes, except that Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are. Dead. Dead in Japan. What's the matter, Bruno? You have ever such a funny look in your face. Oh, no, it's nothing. I know what it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes, you're wondering? Am I right? How? How did you... Heh oh, Bruno, I can read you like a book. This girl was dangerous. Don't worry, you can ask me anything, I won't mind. Okay, well, in that case... What do you think of this? Just a boring old thing, really, but... Oh, I don't really like boring things. Looks like Japanese modesty is easily misinterpreted by young Western children. I mean, who does like boring things? No one wants to be shown something boring. Come to think of it, you're always introducing things with, this is boring, but it's a bad habit. You should stop it. I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return. Wow. Oh, that's funny. Cultural differences. Okay. You know what? That conversation was worth it. Even though it wasn't anything unique, that was worth it. So, by Ginny, you mean Miss Lestrade, the young woman from the McDoodle case 2 months ago, right? Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Although, after the trial, I invited her back here and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends. Oh, what a lovely tale. Yes, now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can. Oh. And I chase after her down the back alleys. Interesting idea of friendship. And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed. Oh. There are so many beautiful colors in the world, Ginny wants me to make a whole rainbow. I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you? Yes, that's right. I've got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now. Poor Hurley. Ooh, I can't wait for Ginny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited. I just hope she does actually come. I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you? Well, it has crossed my mind. That and where are your real parents? My mommy and daddy aren't with me anymore. Mommy passed away when I was born. And at around the same time, my father, well, he had to go to a faraway land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on. Oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley? Yes. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together. She didn't mention that before. Ah, so John Watson was canon. He's just dead. He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chest over there. Really? He recorded them all. So, you mean it's true, Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases? Oh yes. I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it? So Mr. Sholmes' partner was your father. Exactly. Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest, but that only made me want to look even more. So I opened it up. I found your father's memoirs. Yes, so I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. But then he told me. That's when I found out that the author of all those accounts was my father. So Iris' father was Mr. Sholmes' partner. It's John Watson. Ah, that's unfortunate. He really did kill him. I practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So, it came as quite a shock. When Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy, I mean, he must have done. I wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you, and at such a young age. Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. Oh? Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can just see. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouths sometimes. Right. Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read these diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, actually. But I always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all those thrilling stories. Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. He forgets everything. As soon as he solved the case, it all but vanishes from his mind. Oh, I see. The other day was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone. You can say that again. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. I learned from his diary that he's a doctor of medicine, you see. That's what prompted me to study and study so that I could earn a doctorate as well. Iris' father, who went to some distant land, and is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. Oh no! I killed him! Wait, no, I didn't. I proved myself innocent of that. I did not do it. I don't know how to tell this to you, Iris, but I was accused of killing your father. The court will now hear the trial of Rinusuke Naruhodo. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. That's right. Visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. Mr. Sato. Yes. Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time. I think that will be for the best. Ah, my dear fellows. How good to see you. Mr. Sholmes. Wherever did you not make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you? We've been with you for most of the day. Goodness, really. Do tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed? My violin? Whatever are you talking about, dear madame? Oh, Never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows. Oh, another music box disc. No, not another music box disc, Mr. Susato. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence, Mr. McGilded's disc. Oh my. Then, what's it doing here? You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have been an undeniable turn for detection, I may well be even more adept at larceny. Oh, he did steal it. Interesting. Also, I think this is a... I don't think this is a... Yeah, no, he didn't say it, but I think Watson said it in one of the stories. I feel like... Okay, what's the exact line? Let's see. No, that one. History. Sorry, I'm just recognizing references. Yeah, I think Watson wrote in one of the stories. I fear that although he has an undeniable turn for detection, he may well be even more adept at larceny. He said something along those lines. Like that's a line from one of the stories. It's when he was doing some dubious things to get to the bottom of the case. Ooh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be a pickpocketing assistant. And Runa could be our go-to lawyer if we ever got caught. Right. Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting, she could write all our menacing crime notifications. Yes, I'd be delighted. I'm just going to pretend this conversation never happened, I think. Alright then. I don't understand. How did the disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this. That's above caramel, Mr. Sholmes. I just noticed it says Sholmes is caramel. The man has his own branded candy. Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear fellows, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. I'll be taking that whatever it is on Miss Nikhil that's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh yes, of course. If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not? Yes, you did, but I still don't understand. It was at precisely that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars. Like this. Oh, it's a cast. That's amazing. The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel. Wait, wouldn't that have left, like, caramel all over the disc? Tampering with evidence, eh, Mr. Sholmes? I see you are really beginning to grow into your position as career criminal. Indeed, this caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself. Suitably soft in making impression, but resistant to melt. A result of a precisely controlled solution. This is also a reference. He made his own shoe print impression solution. Except they made it candy in this one. That's cute. It was for shoe prints, but this is a clever way to incorporate that element as well. How extraordinary! Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press and its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment. Yes, it sounds legal. From the image, I was able to create this. I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc I played. Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes. What music does the disc play? Well, unfortunately, I have no idea. No idea? None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows? No, I'm afraid not. Goodness, you don't know, Runo. Inside a music box is a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. It's Shows us the music box version. Small protuberances cut to different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. First music boxes were to be invented using a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it. But over time, a new type of player was produced, which uses discs such as these. With that development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide, all around the globe. Why exactly? Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different instruments. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result. It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music, even when no performer is present. But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem. What do you mean? As you may imagine, the construction of one firm's music box is not matched to that of another, and we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable. Ah, I see. So that's why. Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. But as you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I am presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe. Every single one! That's early for you, always taking things too far. But, my dear girl, an unsolved riddle was quite repugnant to my constitution. But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it? Yes, that is certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room. What? To store all of them? Alright. Magnus McGilded. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon. Yes, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. Mr. McGilded perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows, still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial, the newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case. Murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGilded was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. It would appear the case is not yet closed. Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Ginny will be here before long. Thank you, Iris. Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do. I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious at the pawnbroker. Yes. You may be right. Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windybank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris' in pawn, didn't he? Did he? Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom, with his words, I believe. So you heard about that, didn't you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh yes! The idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windybank's storeroom, gathering dust. My dear madame, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for me. More secure than a bank vault. What about your Stradivarius? Early? Was that safe and secure? Well, there may be the occasional mix-up, caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now. Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story? Ah, Hound of the Baskervilles is what's stuck in there? That's... Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it. Ah! What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room? Susie, what did you just say? You said The Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? She snuck in there and read it, didn't she? Well, that's because Miss Susato was such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course. But Runo, The Hound of the Baskervilles, has never been published. What? When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet. I don't understand. That's why he said that he'd keep it safe, until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see. So that's why the manuscript is at Winniebank's. And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on? Ah. What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has survived. Oh, we're not gonna address it? I mean, isn't it a okay. Why is everyone acting so weird? Why is it so uncomfortable? You wanna address the Unspeakable story to Great Ace Attorney 2? Oh boy. Like, okay, yeah, so everyone's uncomfortable for good reason. So, was the story leaked? Is it in public circulation? Is that how Susato... Because the only thing I'm getting here is that, like... The only thing I'm potentially getting here is that Susato snuck into the back room there and read it while we weren't looking. Which would be, like, a minor transgression at worst, but... You know, like, it wouldn't make everyone that uncomfortable. But you won't be like, oh, Susie, you stupid little fangirl, you, ha ha ha, poking your nose around places where you're not looking. No, people aren't acting like it. They're acting like a state secret has been leaked or something. And there's like absolutely no music. It's kind of creepy. I don't know what's going on. Mr. Strut. This was a bad idea. I knew I wasn't welcome. I'm going. No, wait! Mr. Strut! We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris? Oh yes, just wait there, Jimmy. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy. Come along, Susie. Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Mr. Strut. Please, make yourself at home. Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. And we're just gonna defuse the situation and never going to address it again. What say to some Mendoza? I won't take no for an answer. Meddlesome it is, then. Wagahai wa neko de... I did not expect to be narrating that joke all the way into case 5, but here we are. That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome, and Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves, well into the night. Yeah, it's interesting. How the Baskervilles, I believe, was the first Sholmes story. The first home story, I think. Was it? No, it's the third one. Was the first one The Study in Scarlet? Yeah, I think the first one was the Study in Scarlet. Yeah, it was. It was 1887. Hound of the Baskervilles is pretty famous though. It's the first one written after the final problem. That's what it was, right? It was the first of the revival series, in that sense. It was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it? Oh yes, Iris's cooking was truly divine, and I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Shom's violin even now. Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Naruhodo-san, could I consult with you about something? I wonder. What's the matter, Susato-san? It's about the telegram I received. Ah, the one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose. I've been summoned. What? Summoned? What do you mean? The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart had out to see me. Lord Chief Justice? When? Tomorrow morning. What? Then we have to start preparing at once. Oh, no. That won't be necessary now, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone. Alone? What on earth for? I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow. What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. Is the Hound of the Baskervilles written in there? Like that term, is it on the telegram? I wonder. Oh, who could that be, I wonder? Good evening, friends. Ah, Iris. Hello again. And Gina, too. Yes, Ginny's gonna stay with us tonight. He's gonna sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny? Well, yeah. She's tsundere. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. You know, I've learned so much today. Oh, what in particular? All those things Ginny showed us. Wasn't it wonderful? Ah, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques? We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we? I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could learn a living from it. You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour? Well, you see, I came to return this. Wait, what? That's mine! No, it's still there. I wonder if it was there before that. Oh my, however did you... I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it. Oh yes, I forgot to. Iris literally is a child genius. So anyway, here. You can have it back. And it's right here, though. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though. Thank you. Alright then, good night. Yes, good night. So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Ginny? I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a lawyer who lives in a place like this. Yes, me too. It seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about. I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript. Yes, I suppose she probably does. You know, what are you doing? Look, I'm not gonna steal nothing, alright? It's all junk anyway. Charming. I suppose I should engage our guests in conversation. Okay, fair. Gina looks very pensive over there. Are you alright, Gina? Eh? I was just thinking. That's all. I wouldn't fancy me chances of the lawyer what lives in a place like this. Yes, you did mention that already. Get off, did I? Well, nothing else really springs to mind, that's why. What's wrong with this room exactly? I like it. Alright, let's talk about it. Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time, please. Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward. Oh no, not at all, Iris. Not at all. I don't know what all this is about, really, but... It's a story you made up, is it, Iris? This mental script or whatever you call it? It's not exactly a story that I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries. Daddy's? That's right. I don't suppose I mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but my daddy was Hurley's assistant once, his partner. Eh? He solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together. Is that right, mister? Apparently so. I was as surprised as you are, though. And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened. So, where's your old man now, then? He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'll be gone a very long time. So, I've never really met him. Oh, right. Come to think of it. I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her. Iris, this Hound of the Baskerville story. I take it that it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts. That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow. From the other cases, I mean. Oh? How? I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it, and I showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned it as white as a sheet. It was the first time I've ever seen him like that. It pains me to have to say this after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published at this time, under any circumstances. But why not? It's one of my best works. I'm not at liberty to say. Not now. So please, do not ask me. Variety? Alright then, I won't. Yeah, cause, like I just mentioned, you know, this was the first story that was published only after his, the final problem, you know? The one where Holmes apparently died by going off the waterfall with Mariah. They could be implying some things there. But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right. And that's how the manuscript came to be of Mr. Windybank, is it? Yes. Hurley said it had to be somewhere very safe. That really gets my goat, that does. It's treating you like a child. It's mean, that's what it is. Keeping secrets like that. I'm sure Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean. Eh? If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason. I think so too. You ought to trust him for your own good. And you can roll the wool over my eyes. Sholmes is lying to Iris. I bet my life on it. What? Hurley's lying to me? Interesting. I realize that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina. I ain't got any, have I? Never did have. Oh. Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we're born. Not even our moms. But we all stick together. The older ones look up to the little ones and make sure they get by. So that's why you're a pickpocket. Nah, Slavin's my life. I love it. I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we all afford to eat. I'm like Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it. Oh, Gina. I do think about it sometimes. What would it be like to have parents, I mean? I always thought it'd make everything right. I haven't listened to what Iris just said. It sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. Oh. I mean, if you know you ever had them, you don't feel like you always wanted to meet them. It's true. I do want to see Daddy so much. Now you're just making us sad, man. Oh, Iris. Now we're just making us sad. Why did you have to kill John Watson? With a bullet. Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Jones is lying to Iris? Well, he reckons he popped that manuscript or whatever, right? Come on! That's obviously a load of rubbish. Oh my, why would you think that, Gina? It's simple. If that story was really an old Winnie Bank storeroom, there's no way some of them halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Ah. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling me. But Hurley would never do something like that. I'm sure of it. Ha! Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Bare-faced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. Did Watson have it with him? When they were over in Japan? But then why would why would Susato know about it? Okay, this is where we're going down. Unless her dad? Yeah, her dad showed up, I forgot what exactly her dad does, but like, part of the justice system as well, right? Chat, remind me, what was Eugene Mikutoba's job? I mean, that's not a spoiler, but you know, that's just like basic information. Remind me what his job was again? Lecturer? Was it in law? Lecturer in law, was it? Like for Kazuma, right? Oh, forensic pathology. Okay, close enough. Forensic pathology. Okay. Interesting. So maybe Watson / Wilson had the manuscript with him. He was a visiting professor. Sorry, he was a visiting lecturer. And they're also both like forensics, right? Like all these related stuff, investigation. They probably worked together. So the manuscript may have ended up in Mikutoba's office, and Susato may have seen it there. Which means the manuscript might currently be in Japan. I guess that makes sense. I mean, you don't need to tell me if I'm right or wrong, but like, that's probably the closest thing that makes logical sense to me right now, as to how Susato knows about it. I'm telling you, that manuscript ain't a Windy Banks. It's sincere if you had a look. Even you think you can trust him, I don't. That Sholmes is a liar like the rest of them. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley is telling me the truth sometimes. See? Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris. Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Ginny. We should go back downstairs. Yeah, alright. And please, don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you? No, of course not. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina. You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning. I insist. Oh, yes please. I can't wait, Susie. Good night then. Iris. Sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult. but deep down she's still just a child. Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruhodo-san. John H. Wilson, Iris' father, but also the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. It can't be a mere coincidence. Was he murdered for the manuscript? Wait, that could mean that the manuscript is also like is with the swan lady, Giselle Brett, yeah, who is named after the gun that was shot that was used to shoot Watson. Ah, it's too mean. It's mean is what it is. Yeah, it is curious. State secrets, huh? Potentially. Something deeper going on. Naruhodo. It's a Naruhodo. That voice. That's Mr. Sholmes. What's going on? It's the middle of the night. It's Mrs. Strud. She's gone. Gina? She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris' room, but her bed is empty. Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no? I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received a distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Mrs. Sato. No, I don't believe the girl has gone home, but I've been waiting for over an hour now. Over an hour? Oh. If you indulge me, look out of the window, my dear fellow. It's acting serious. What's this about? Wait a minute. Why is there a light on at this time of night? That's Mr. Windybank's pawnbroker. Mr. Windybank's? Oh no! It's simple. And that story was really an old Windybank's story. There's no way some of them are halfway around the world. In other words, you know about it. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling me. Could Gina have gone? She seems to have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Oh no! No, not really. Well, anyway, we must investigate. At once. Mr. Sato. Where is this? 1:14 in the morning. Wow. The door to Windybank's. It's open. And the lamp is burning. It must be Gina, mustn't it? Let us hope it's nothing more sinister. What? Come, it's not a moment to lose. Surely something is afoot inside. Is the pawnbroker dead? There's no one here. Oh yes, there is. Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Oh. Robbery. Or something. What the? Has Sholmes been shot? Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. But... after them! Go! Right! Blast! I've lost them. Oh, hello, what we have here? The alarm was raised from this pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that? Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Sholmes. He's been shot. Shot? The policeman closed behind me. I ran back to Windybank's.
Mr. Sholmes!
Mr. Naruhodo!
How bad is it? Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry!
Mr. Windy Bang! He took his own life!
It's Gina!
And Gina fainted from the shock! Oh no. I told you he didn't have a persona. He couldn't summon it. And he tried anyway. What a senseless waste of life. What an idiot. Man. The poor man, he really did take his own life. I can't believe it. So Mr. Winterbank's been shot. Unfortunate. And I guess Gina's going to be the defendant. I should have probably guessed from all that foreshadowing. I wouldn't throw my lot in with a lawyer like you. Ha 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 ha. Well, how the turn have tabled. Huh? Alright. Well, the game is certainly afoot and the plot is certainly thickening. We will be back soon enough for more Great Ace Attorney, where we will find out what happens after this big cliffhanger. Have a good night.